Today, I'm going to show you how to take a fig tree from this to this right here. I'm going to show you how and why. This fig tree had gotten really out of hand, and I've tried to bring it back each year, but this has just extensive roots, so it was outgrowing what I was pruning each year, so I needed to take drastic measures in pruning this in order to actually get it back down to being manageable to where I can get access to all the fruit. This tree gives off a honey fig, and they are absolutely delicious. But with it being so tall and putting the fruit so high up, the birds were coming and getting to them before I was able to. So that means this tree was way too tall, and I don't want to lose all my fruit to birds. They can take some, but not all of them. So it's the end of January, and right now is the perfect time to be pruning for me in Southern California, because in about early March, these fig trees will start waking up. They're already putting growth into their buds, and pretty soon they're going to open up. So because of that, you want to prune when it's winter, and the big thing you want to look for is all of the dead branches. You want to get rid of those first. Now with this tree, I went extreme, so I didn't have to worry about the dead branches. It's a very healthy tree, and everything was for the most part alive that I cut off. Next though, you want to look for anything that's crisscrossing, because that's going to restrict airflow, which is going to cause problems with any of the leaves getting like mildew on them or causing issues. And you also want to be able to get into your tree and grab your fruit and it not just be this tangled mess. Now ideally, you only want to prune about 1/3 of your fig tree in the summer or in the winter. But because this was an extreme case, you can go up to 50% of a tree. But I have a friend up in the Pacific Northwest, and he tells me he just cuts his tree completely off at the ground and then puts a large amount of mulch on it until spring when he uncovers it. So that tree is essentially growing completely from its roots and stored energy every year, which was very surprising to hear. Now doing big cuts like this, there is a chance, because you've created such a large wound, that the tree could get sick. So later on, I'm going to allow this to dry for right now, but I will come back and put either some tree sealer or maybe some latex paint over this to seal it. I'm only going to use white, and I would probably dilute it with water. That way it's real runny, just to cover up this cut area and protect it without drowning it in paint. With all the success I had last year with the other fig tree that I pruned, with that lean over or step over method, I've decided I'm going to do that with all of my trees now, because that actually worked out really well and gave me lots of fruit and was very easy to get to. So this tree is getting a heavy cutback, and now I got to get rid of all these little suckers and shoots, so that way the tree only focuses on its big trunks that are left to produce new branches, which we will shape as they start growing out in order to make sure we get lots of figs off of them. So I know this seems really shocking and excessive or extreme, and it is. It absolutely is. This is a lot, and it's going to put a lot of stress on this tree. But knowing how vigorous this tree grows every year, I'm not worried that I'm going to kill it. I think it will bounce back perfectly fine. I think this year I won't get a lot of fruit, but I will get fruit off of it. And I think with proper maintenance of the tree from here on out, I will get a lot of fruit off of it from now on. If you think I've killed this tree, let me know. And if you've done something like this, let me know, and let me know how it turned out. Did your tree come back really well, or did it end up being killed off? I would be interested to know, because I have a couple of trees that are like this around my property that I think I'm gonna end up having to do this to a majority of them. And anyone who thinks I pretty much murdered my tree, this one right here, I cut this back completely to the ground so that way I could grow my bamboo and my bamboo could fully take over and create a nice privacy fence. And yet somehow the fig came back and has grown, and now I need to go ahead and prune it again and cut it all the way back down, so hopefully this time it doesn't get any sunlight, it gets shaded out, and it won't come back. But that one got completely cut down and it was pretty healthy, and it still managed to come back. So I don't think that the fig tree I just cut is in danger of dying. So don't be afraid to prune your tree. It's not gonna die just because you've made some big cuts on it. As long as it's established and you've given it proper things like compost and good watering and good fertilizer in the spring, everything should be all right. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.